Takaba's curse technique is absolutely broken, as we were told it could rival even Satoru freaking Gojo. Takaba has the ability to make anything reality. His curse technique can oppose Kenjaku. Remember, Takaba saved Hana Kurusu in chapter 214, and she even refers back to it in chapter 220, stating while she can't be certain, Takaba being nearby may have resulted in Hana's survival, inferring back to his unique ability to change reality, thereby giving her intuition on what his curse technique actually is. Looking back at chapter 169, the comedian saved Megami's life too, where Reggie stated Takaba's curse energy increased dramatically, the shift in its output being massive enough to outspeed them and win the battle. Heck, they even declared him as strong. This was because Takaba was confident in his jokes and believed that Megami was a good guy despite having a bad face, where by the end, Megami claimed he was glad Takaba isn't the enemy. In chapter 239, Kenjaku attacked Takaba, and yet it seemingly had no effect on him, as Kenjaku even notes that his attack completely worked but had no effect, something that will prove his 1000 years of Jujutsu as meaningless. Kenjaku attacks again, but it has no effect, as Takaba literally calls himself a toon. This is a direct reference to Yu-Gi-Oh's Toon World, as the man even drips out Kenjaku with Bandit Keith's American fit. This leads Kenjaku to believe that Takaba's curse technique is the creation of phenomena, the reality and manifestation of his own mental pictures. Now, he isn't far off, as Takaba's technique comedian makes anything Takaba considers funny to become reality. Nah, I bet if some of you had this power, you know what you're finding funny. You're finding your waifu's funny, aren't you?
Y'all know what's going on, and so do I.
But imagine this, Takaba thinks Kenjaku turning into a cat is funny, so he can make that happen. It's also likely that his technique is what allowed Takaba to survive numerous bombings from Hazunoki and heal from the first injuries he suffered without a reverse curse technique. But if you think about it, like balls deep, Hana let this man save her and then sent him to his death sentence. Not only is she stupid and useless, but cold-hearted, as this could be a bad matchup after all.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Throughout the story, we have witnessed Kenjaku being a goofy dude, laughing at the idea of a clown face being the result of his culling game. My man has always had a sense of humor, like this moment in chapter 93, and let's not forget the famous trolling of Jogo being a football. Frankly, even this is funny as hell from chapter 239. This all connects to his condition to be his friend. You must never bore me or you must be my equal, which is why Takaba is in big trouble, since the limitation of his curse technique is that it is dependent on his confidence. Taking us back to how he starts to flex, how he made it to the first round of last year's P1, a TV program that was seen as hilarious due to how bad its performance was. Like, you thought I was about to say good? No! Kenjaku recognizes the show and says that even an ordinary person could get through the first round. Like, we have all seen those clips from those Japanese skit shows.
It's
Whilst this may seem like a simple taunt, Kenjaku is planting the seeds of his eventual victory, as he is destroying Takaba's confidence, as this leads Takaba to conclude that Kenjaku must love comedy too. He asks the age-old question all of us do regarding villains: why are you doing all of this? Where the response is, because it's entertaining and he's curious. This lines up perfectly with Kenjaku's character, as he told Yuki that humanity's future lies in optimizing curse energy and chaos, and he will accomplish that by evolving humans via Tengen's merger. So he's doing it because it seems like fun. Yeah, casually killing over 1 million people is fun to this dude. So Takaba then states that if he can make something more entertaining, there won't be a need for violence. It's written all over Kenjaku's face that he wants Takaba to make him laugh. Like, This fight can be summed up as a try not to laugh challenge you'd watch on freaking YouTube. All of this leads to Takaba using his joke from chapter 169, none of your business. But he just turns it down with logic. Kenjaku explains that the gag would never work for people, as it's not a setup like a different joke if you pull out the spine gag, and that Takaba actually doesn't understand comedy, and it's not fun at all to joke with him. This directly destroys his ego, as Takaba claims that being denied logically by someone who understands comedy really hurts. And this is when Kenjaku takes the opportunity to strike, teaching him a lesson to be more aware of his audience before making jokes. Now you're probably wondering, ABD, how was Kenjaku able to hit Takaba, as he wasn't able to every other time he tried? Well, his technique only activates if Takaba's confidence and conviction is high. Kenjaku proceeded to use logic to break his spirit, and as a result, Takaba didn't find himself funny in that moment. For example, when Takaba makes his classic joke, "Don't marry me, I don't want you as my Wi-Fi," Kenjaku immediately understands how he created this joke. This makes Takaba incredibly happy, but this is short-lived, as Kenjaku starts breaking down his magnus opus joke, stating that it won't work on people watching this joke in a movie at home. He further brings in the instance of a popular comedian, Haranishi Takayuki, comparing how pathetic Takaba's punchline is in comparison. And we all know when it comes to comedians, when you have to explain a joke to make it funny, that makes it not funny. Now, to enjoy more peak fiction, watch this video regarding Yuji Itadori gaining Sukuna's powers. We explain how he changes people's memories and became a demon god.